Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television, Radio, and Podcast Dog Show. Thank you so much for being with us every day, Monday through Friday, beginning 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone. That is 1 o'clock on the Central Time Zone. As we get to ride home with you in the afternoon, you may find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. That's close to Huntsville, kind of between Huntsville and Guntersville, Alabama, just to kind of give you where it's at on the map. Another way you can find us is on Abundance Television. We're syndicated, and that's found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on the newscasters.com. That's a great affiliation there. Another way you can find us is on all the social media sites. Yes. And on the social media, look at facebook.com/DFeazell. If you'll at least follow me, that puts you in the drawing every single Friday. Every single Friday, I do a lot of giveaways. One of those just local right here in Gadsden, Alabama, is Applebee's. Yep. And they are one of our sponsors. Been a sponsor for a long time. Yeah, started out in Guntersville, and they're still a sponsor through Guntersville, Alabama. So, again, just basically all over the place. And we're all over South Carolina as well as far as giving away things. Yeah. And some of our sponsors are national sponsors, and we're proud to have those. But I'm going to tell you what. Oh, by the way, this is my husband, Phil. So he's with us today. And the main crank in what makes this show go for 21 and a half years.
Just part of the gear.
So, yeah, but we got to have that. But we are at Twin City Used Car Sales located in Gadsden, Alabama. It's always so good to be here. I feel like we're family here.
Yeah,
actually more than my real family members. So it's so good to be out here with Bobby and all of his wonderful crew. And it's good to see, like, we see the same folks, and this is unusual in anything. I mean, people just flip jobs all the time. But every time we come here, we're seeing the same awesome people who've been with him for a really long time. And a lot of these guys, I'm recognizing them from when he was in Gadsden. I mean, in Fort Payne, Alabama, and now in Gadsden. But it's so good to be down here. He's running some huge sales. Now, let me say this about Bobby. He's always running great sales. Okay, because he always has a great inventory of vehicles, and he also has some great pricing, and you can do trade-ins. But I wanted to mention something else. Because of COVID, a lot of folks got kind of messed up in their credit, but it wasn't their fault. It happens to a lot of folks. And so credit challenged, and they're maybe just now getting back on their feet again, but even if they can't, they're going to put you in a vehicle.
Yep.
And if you don't have the credit, it's not going to be some junk heap. You don't have junk heaps here. But what I'm saying is a lot of times I know some of those cash places, you know, that work deals with you and they have these really high interest rates and what have you, they're going to put you in the most terrible car they got. But not so with Bobby. I mean, if you find a car here that you love, he's going to find a way to put you in it.
And Bobby walks around when he's on the lot. He walks around with paper in his hand. In that paperwork he has what he's got, the car. You're looking for a pickup truck or whatever, you go down about what you want to pay, right? I got one right here.
I know the very first time we did business with Bobby, so what happened is you're out on the lot, and I'm with you, and so Phil always has a list of stuff that he wants when he's got a vehicle, just to make sure he's got everything covered. Then he'll check this, check. So when you were talking to the sales associate didn't say anything. He was just sitting there with his hands in his pocket, looking at you in the eyeballs, waiting on you to tell him what you wanted.
And I did.
All he did was said, that one. And you looked at it. Because here's one of the things, because part of the show is about repurposing items, so I love going to yard sales. And so one of the things you said is it needs to be a 4-door. I don't want 2 doors. It's got to be 4-door because Donna hauls junk around all the time. And she goes to yard sales and
I know better college junk. It's stuff. Now when she talks about my stuff, it's junk.
Yeah, but I turned it into something good, and we do a lot of that here on the show. And so we listened to you that. He didn't go looking, showing you the 2 doors.
Sure did.
It was 4 doors. You specified 4-door, and it had to be 4-door. And that's what that's what happened.
He's got a handful.
Yeah, see, he's walking around with papers too.
Now,
So
Newt that come around with a handful, so he's fixed to sell a car.
yeah, Newt's been so far. So, but that's what they do here. They will sit and they will listen to you and they will look at you. And that's what the guy did. He just went like that one. Yeah, but you remember you had a problem with it.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't a problem. You said it was a problem, and I thought it was a pretty good car.
Oh,
The color of the car,
must have been blue.
it was blue.
Well, I wound up with a blue.
And it was
Out of it.
Auburn War Eagle blue. I'm just telling you, it was that color. It didn't have weird wheels on it or nothing like that. It was just a blue car, and you went, wait a minute. And I'm looking at you, wait a minute, this is exactly the car you're looking for. And you said, but what happened is I made a remark. I just looked at the color and said War Eagle. I should have never said that. And then you looked at it, and you're going, that's an Auburn car. So, yeah, we got a mixed marriage. Yeah. And it's really interesting.
She wears probably more red than anybody.
Oh, I love red.
So-
But that does not mean I'm an Alabama fan, for goodness sakes.
That don't mean I was an Auburn fan.
Yeah. Yeah, you finally reached
But
that.
I voted. I watched Auburn, rooted for Auburn when they wasn't playing Alabama, or they had an opportunity that Alabama didn't have.
I did the same thing.
So,
And that's healthy.
yeah. So one day a month or a year, we don't get along. Iron bowl. We
It's
shake
so
hands,
big.
and that's it.
One of us will be mad at the other one. But it's fun rivalry, and I like that.
But we still talk about Bobby and sales. Now, we could have reflected on the house that we purchased when we moved to North Carolina. We didn't have time to go up for a few days to look at it because we were in Alabama. This was in North Carolina. So Donna found a realtor. So, okay, this is what I want to look for. And we went up that weekend, and she showed us 2. We didn't like them. She said, I got one more. I almost didn't because it wasn't what you exactly. And we went and looked at it, and that was exactly what we wanted. But it wasn't on the list that she put out. And that's the one we purchased. So, it's asking the questions and making notes. Me, I'd have a lot of notes because I wouldn't remember all of them. But make notes. Rebecca. And we sell a lot of that on TV all the time anyway. They'll say, I wanted this, and not even come close to what they
No, here's what happened. And this is because if I were a realtor, and Gladys Dethridge was was an awesome realtor. So I bought my first house from her. And so Gladys, you could tell her, this is back in the 80s, okay? Houses were a lot cheaper then. And so I said, look, I'm on a Taj Mahal wannabe. And she said, what do you think about that? And I said, I want a house that has good bones that I can paint. I was divorcee. I said, I want one that I could paint, and I can do something with myself. I don't want anything I've got to fix floors and all that because I can't do that. And she said, okay. So she takes me to this house, and it's a little old house. This house was built in 1885. It was like a masterpiece. So I walk in, and I said, this is it. She said, you don't even look at the rest of the house yet. But it was like a big foyer. It had the big rooms, the big pocket doors. They had, for some reason, wallpaper back then. They had wallpaper on the ceiling. But I could see from the ceiling the wood was in great shape. They just had wallpaper on it for some reason. And I said, this is it. And then she said, now walk around the house. But now, it's also have a second opinion. So I called, remember Bobby Cooper. So I called Bobby and I said, Bobby, will you come look at a house that I'm looking at? And so I knew he'd be truthful with me because he worked on houses. He flipped them.
He built houses for another guy, and he flipped houses himself. He'd live in it for a while and buy it.
I don't like moving that much, but anyway, he liked
They used to, we could probably done that, not now.
I don't do that. I'm tired of
But she can put floors in now because we have done that several times.
I can do that.
She knows how to do that.
I know how to do it. So long story short, Bobby looked at it, and he said, if you don't buy it, I'm buying it, and I'm going to flip it. So then that's why I knew it was a good house. Same here when you're buying a car. What you do is you listen to what other people have been saying about the cars they've been purchasing.
As a matter of fact, former owner of the pickup truck I bought was the sheriff who got killed.
And we knew him personally, so
we knew him personally, and he took care of it. And I don't know how long he had it, and I've had it for almost 2 years now.
You know what I like about that truck too that you bought here in Twin City? I like that grill. What is the purpose of that grill?
It's like you see on these cop shows on the front of them vehicles. If they have to run into anything, or it's protection.
Oh, it protects the body of it.
It front, the radiator and all that. When that goes down, but that's what it is. And I got mine's a 4-wheel drive, so I got the step ups that goes with it. So it's an added feature. It's an expensive added feature.
And so that's another thing. Bobby didn't charge you more for the truck because it had that thing. How much those things cost? And then you got to get.
It would be probably maybe a couple $1,000,
that's what I was
maybe less.
Thinking. Yeah,
maybe more.
And because you get the features that come with it as well. That's another thing about getting a good used car. And another thing about buying a brand new car is you lose a lot of money the minute you drive it off the showroom.
It does. I don't know why, but it does.
Mm-hmm. It does, because if you were to turn around 6 months later and try to sell that car, you're not going to get out of it what you got in it. But what I like, just like with houses, I like old houses with the old character. Somebody's already spent the money on it. Somebody's already put that beautiful brown molding. Somebody's already. That's usually what happens with these cars. Like, you didn't have to pay extra to get that really nice thing on the vehicle. I mean, that was worth over $2,000 right there.
He didn't come up and say, I'm going to take that stuff off the grill. I'm going to take these sides off. Part of it.
It stayed with it. And that's another thing. And I'll have to tell you what, I love buying luxury cars from Bobby. Because I'm telling you, most of the time you buy a Beamer or you buy a car, I've had 2 Beamers. And so, and I drove it until the doors were practically falling off of it. That vehicle was a dream. As it was BMW, it was the 3 Series. It wasn't huge like the 5 Series, and then it wasn't like a little tiny one either. It was just somewhere in between. I think the next car I'm going to get from Bobby is going to be a Beamer again. I think I'm going to do that.
You've had good luck with them. Now, she bought one
and they were good on fuel.
While we're living in Charlotte. And we looked at it, and it's something happened to it a little while right after we bought it, so I put a little money in it. Something else happened. Okay. Got a bottom line here. When we get to that point, it's time for it to go.
Yeah, but
I mean, she got good service, but there was things that happened to it, so it did come from Bobby, or he would have taken care of it. But Beamers, she had a Beamer, got dynamite gas mileage. I had a Volvo. Every time I turned around, I had to stop at the service station, fill it up.
Yeah, but we would fill it up. We were living in Charlotte, come all the way to Alabama, and that's 600 and something miles, and we would still have fuel in the tank.
Yep.
So if you're looking for something, the kids are going to Auburn or going to Alabama, a Beamer is a great one to get. Yep. You know what? We got to go into a commercial break.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back in just a few minutes. Y'all hang in there, okay? Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. You know, finding the right home isn't just about bedrooms and square footage. It's about comfort, security, and the feeling you get the moment you walk through the door. That's why so many families across Greenwood and the Lakelands area trust Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams. And I'll tell you from personal experience, Jenny was my realtor, and she truly cares about her clients. Jenny takes the time to listen, to understand what matters most, and to guide you every step of the way
whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, or ready to sell. Because this isn't just a transaction, it's your life. With local knowledge, personal care, and a commitment to getting it right, Jenny Ferguson makes the process simple and even enjoyable. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, now's the time to make your move. Call Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams in Greenwood today and take the next step toward a place you'll truly love coming home to. Shine your style at Kiss My Glass right here in the Anderson Mall. There's a place where style meets sparkle. At Kiss My Glass, every piece is handcrafted, custom designed, and made to shine just like you. Owner Beth Gibson brings creativity to life with stunning custom tumblers, gifts, and one-of-a-kind pieces you won't find anywhere else. Look for the perfect gift or something uniquely you, from bold and glamorous to simple and elegant. There's something for every style, so stop by, get inspired, and leave with something unforgettable. Kiss My Glass inside the Anderson Mall, Anderson, South Carolina, where your sparkle begins. Be sure to check out Kiss My Glass on Facebook for updates and specials and gift ideas.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Lowe's knows that the projects you build in spring are the ones you can't wait to share. It's why we make sure you have our best deals with My Lowe's Rewards and that you get help from people who've
Been there.
done that.
Try this.
This spring, we'll help you build something rewarding.
Hey, Stan. What's up? I made you something. Oh, thank you. And I got something for you. You grew these? Of course.
Lowe's knows how to help you spring.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
Good afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, radio, and podcast talk show. Thank you so much for being with us every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone, 1 on the Central, as we get to ride home with you in the afternoon. Continue sending email, by the way. Phil can tell you, when I get email from you, I just get all giddy inside. I love hearing from you. Donna at donnasedge.com, Donna at donnasedge.com. We're at Bobby Ledbetter's Twin City used car sales, and I'm just seeing balloons everywhere. I'm seeing vehicles everywhere. I'm seeing things everywhere. So you got to come down here and you got to buy your vehicle from Bobby. Again, school is coming back. Kids are going to be going to college before you know it. I would go ahead and get the vehicle now. Don't wait until college or school starts to do that, because you kind of might want to ride the vehicle around just a little bit.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Make sure it's what you want to put your child.
Yeah, because if you're buying a beautiful car here at Twin City Used Cars, sometimes the kids are just going to see the beauty in it. And so you need to know that it's not going to be quick to speed. You don't want your kids having all these traffic tickets.
Well, used to, if you do something like put a governor on it to stop that, but I don't know if you can do that anymore.
My granddad used to be a cop, and he was in Oxford, Alabama. And I was going to tell you what he said. So Granddad said, now you're going to have lead feet, okay? And when you get out on the road, you start going out on your own, you're probably going to get a whole lot of tickets. Let me tell you what you need to do. When the policeman pulls you over, admit it, you were speeding. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a ticket. I mean, not going to get a ticket, you're going to get a warning. And so that's what Bobby does right here. He's going to listen to you. He's going to listen to the kid. He's going to listen to you as well. He's got his way of talking to kids. I think your mom's right on that.
Yeah.
We need to look for gas mileage.
And he also, when he hands it off to one of the employees here, make sure they listen. Because they're not going to be successful. He brings them in and entrusts them to do it. So he's got to have good employees that will follow through with what brought him in. And that's what it's all about. Questions. Listen. Just listen. But we've had people in different businesses who come in and start talking, never would shut up now. They never want to say, what are you selling?
They didn't even know. But knowing about vehicles and, and again, you got to align people like if the grandma comes in, you're probably not going to get her like the biggest sports car you got. I don't know, something.
Probably some of them you could.
Probably some, but you kind of match the person to the car, and these guys here know how to do that.
And Bobby has people intact that can handle the mechanical part of it. So when it comes across its lot, then it's ready to go. And it's good to have people like that. You got to have people like that. I don't know if he's a mechanic or not. He don't have to be.
I bet he does.
But he may be like me and bring me old car to work on, not the new ones.
He doesn't want to. I want to mention one of his customers. I see her name popping up all the time. Amelia Landstreet. Amelia lives in Fort Payne. Amelia loves old cars, and she actually has a showroom in a building of old cars. And she actually let me take a tour through these old cars one time, but she said, don't touch. And so I didn't touch anything. But I'm going to tell you what, beautiful old cars, and she loves her grandkids. And I said, well, I got to ask a question. Do you let the grandkids in here? And she said, no. But I see her. So Bobby takes pictures of people, puts it on social media and all that. And Amelia, she's always coming back here.
Yep.
And always buying cars over and over again. And I keep seeing the same folks in Fort Payne over and over again.
I think she was in not too long back.
Yes,
bought another car.
Yeah, in the past year I think she's bought 2. But I think she buys them for grandkids and kids and stuff like that too. But that's another satisfied customer. But if you are thinking about purchasing a vehicle, that's the kind of person you want to come to, where you see the same people on your social media site. They keep coming back and they keep buying cars.
They repeat business. That's what any vendor wants, repeat business. If they want to be successful. If they don't, they want a one shot at it. Watch it.
Yeah, they're not going to be so good. But again, we mentioned a little bit earlier in the show too about Credit Challenge.
Yes.
So there are so many different ways you can find the vehicle of your dreams.
That's right. You can have perfect credit. Now, some people, maybe their credit is they went to bought a cell phone last week. That goes against them. Not that the credit was bad, but
don't have just got 5 credit cards and stuff like that, because credit cards will eat up the credit.
Or maybe they're cleaning up the credits and they're throwing the credit cards away and canceling them.
Oh, don't
that
do that.
Is not
That's
a good thing.
That go with it. I
So
didn't know
keep
that.
it active. Just don't use it. Keep it active, because when it goes inactive, it goes into your credit.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got something to handle any kind of credit, good credit, bad credit, whatever. He's got people in place where if you're serious about buying a car, whether you're challenged on credit or ready to want to buy one, you don't see what he's got, tell him what you want.
We got about 5 minutes to talk about this, and this is about credit. So let me tell you, this is how I know this, because I was in the cell phone business, both of us were.
Yeah.
But I worked for GTE on the corporate, so I handled government and corporate accounts there. And I don't know how many times that somebody would say, I just bought a Lexus and you're telling me I got to pay a deposit. Or remember one time Dad wanted a cell phone, so Dad comes in and he said, you know I pay my bills on time. He didn't have a house payment. He didn't have a car payment. He didn't have it. All he paid was the
Cash is
no
good, but
credit.
you can't buy anything off.
Yeah, but he had to like it was my fault. Like
Yeah.
I was making him pay a $500 deposit,
Yeah.
and I said, "No, Dad, you don't exist in the credit world. You paid cash for your house, that you just bought." And I said, "Your vehicles, you just walk in, you look like a pimp giving $100 bills." And I said, "That's why you do not. It's like you don't exist in the credit world."
Miss Freeman's
So sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes you just don't have any credit. And then another thing, maybe you've been a little bit late paying bills. Maybe something happened, hospital. You know, a lot of people have had great credit, and then they get injured or on the job or something, and they're waiting on court to make a decision about something. It drags out for years in the court system. And so that's why. So don't be ashamed if the credit is. Just tell them up front. Just say, "Look, I'm credit challenged," and they will help. Because the quicker you tell them now into the deal, the quicker they can get something worked out for you.
Think about what she just said. Now, if you don't tell them and they check your credit, that's a ding
It's
against
another
you
ding.
by them if they turn you down. That's a ding against you again. So you know it's going to happen. Just notify or tell Bobby about it or whoever's waiting on.
And don't know what to do first.
They know which direction to put you in.
So that's the absolute best way to do it. Did Dad get a cell phone? Yeah, he got mad. He had to pay the $500 deposit, but he got it back, and it was a little bit of help in his credit since he didn't have any. But you know what I found out? And a lot of folks, a lot of older folks, pay cash for everything, you know, and they would have to pay a deposit. But what I found is if you don't have any credit, it's worse than somebody that has
Correct.
terrible credit.
But you remember old Farmer John coming that time when we were in the cell
I
phone
wanted
business.
every farmer that came in.
He had that big old wallet. I mean, old rolls was a big old bunch of stuff here, and he had no credit. He said, "No problem. You just pop that roll out, plop that deposit down,
But I
and got
will
him a
get
cell
it
phone."
back, right?
But he got it back, and that's they're used to doing that in their world. Farmers or whatever, they've got the money, but they don't have the credit, so they pay cash for it.
And that's
So-
fine to do. And mention that if it's a cash deal. Just say it's going to be a cash deal.
That's a terrible thing to do.
It's a good thing to do. You can save it and have it. But there's so many things that you can do. And again, if your credit is challenged, just stick it up front.
Okay.
Just say, if it was medical, just say what it was. But a lot of folks, it was because of COVID. Now, before we go into and call the end of the show, I wanted to mention this. I don't like to have a show without talking about this. When COVID hit, how many people did Bobby feed? We went to
About
almost every one.
four or five times, wasn't it? Over-
No, seven
times.
Went to 7 different areas.
Okay.
And so I don't know. We were trying to figure it out. There was thousands of people that got.
That was over 1,000 on every.
And he
picture.
financed that, and also Matt Miles with his restaurant. He helped out there too.
Matt did the food, and Bobby and the other people did everything else.
Yeah, but let me tell you what Bobby did. You remember, we didn't get to go to this. Larissa's sister passed away, and so we missed the one in Galesville, or I forget exactly where it was, somewhere around Oaksville or something. And we didn't get to go to that one. So what Phillip Gillen at the Cowboy Church told me, he said, "Donna, this is what happened." He said, Bobby just gave the credit card number and told people to go to the McDonald's and just mentioned that they came here. And so Bobby paid for all these people to have food. And because they ran out of food there. The Cowboy Church came and it ran out. So Bobby just went up to McDonald's, gave them his credit card number, and he said, "We still got people coming in we're giving food to. Just put it on my credit card." Who's going to do that?
Somebody. And another supporter and everything that went on except one was
John Merrill.
He was at every one. And him and Donna kind of directed traffic. They met the people.
We were the Walmart greeters.
Waited to get put them in the right line so they could get their food.
So John was there, and John would say, "Now tell me now when Bobby's having another one, because I'm going to be there." And he was at every single one of them. But anyway, all these folks made it happen. Bobby has all the support in the community there as well. He's got statewide officials. He's got the support from as well. So again, come to Twin City Used Car Sales in Gadsden, Alabama. You'll be happy that you did, and it'll be a generational thing for you as well. Thanks for watching.